state visit. NEMA deploys more resources towards flood mitigation. And resolution leading to early morning protest at NNPC Limited Towers still remains sketchy. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. President Bola Tinubu has departed Brazil after a two-day state visit. The president has been in Brasilia since Monday with the aim of deepening ties between Nigeria and Brazil through high-level meetings and the signing of several bilateral agreements. Well, earlier, President Bola Tinubu and his Brazilian counterpart, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, directed immediate implementation of the existing bilateral agreements between the two countries on defense cooperation. The two leaders, during their bilateral meeting in Brasilia, emphasized the importance of the agreement signed in Abuja 2 months ago. Following that, the defense ministers of both countries are following up with discussions on the constitution of a technical committee, which will institute the monitoring and evaluation mechanism to achieve the objectives of the collaboration.
Well, majorly is on exchanges, training, visits, some discussions among our universities and our institutions, defense institutions in Nigeria and Brazil, and the training of our own military, as well as discussions on the defense procurement and defense industries. We intend to work together to also develop a robust defense industry in Nigeria, taking the Brazilian example. And we have discussed a lot, and I'm meeting today most of the companies, defense industries here, so that we'll see what kind of joint venture, what kind of technology transfer we will have, so that that part of the agreement can be fulfilled. We also discussed on the joint exercises and the security at the Gulf of Guinea. You know, Brazil has been participating in some of our exercises and provision of security at the Gulf of Guinea. As you are aware, the Gulf of Guinea has been relatively peaceful over the years. So we want to enhance that and continue to work together to make sure that that channel is secured.
Minister of Defense Mohamed Badr Abubakar. Well, a landmark agreement between Nigeria and Brazil has marked the beginning of a new era of cooperation with significant implications for aviation, as well as agriculture, diplomacy, health, and science. This bold initiative signals a major breakthrough in the relationship between the two nations, with aviation at the forefront of this partnership. We'll bring you more details of this in the subsequent bulletins. Now, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has launched its first Servicom integrated service charter with a view to changing the narrative to address air travelers' complaints and make a difference for passengers and operators in Nigeria. Dennis Temple reports.
Today, the struggle is over as we launch our first integrated service charter.
Flight delays and poor service are just some of the headaches Nigerian air travelers face almost every day. And for many passengers, their complaints often go unanswered. But that will be changing. The Civil Aviation Authority says it is taking steps to turn things around.
NCA have been lagging in the annual Servicom assessment of NDs. that it had a cumulative score of 17%, 17 in 2022. This was indeed abysmal and embarrassing. However, the story is different today.
To the Savicom office, this is a major milestone for Nigeria's aviation sector.
This was a very long journey. I remember when we started advocating for this document, one of the things we always hear is that we are guided by international standards, ICAO, ISO. But one thing I know about international standard is that if you are talking about quality management system, the overriding consideration for service delivery is customer satisfaction.
Some stakeholders at the launch emphasized that the move is long overdue. They believe it could help reduce delays, cut through bureaucracy, and restore passengers' trust in the system.
It's something great to see that even after all these courses that they have had to go through, they were able to meet up and come out with this wonderful service charter. When I went through the charter, it spells of everything. It touches every area, and it actually dignifies what it is that we Nigerians need and what we should always go about doing.
Savicom was set up in 2004 to drive better service delivery across government agencies and ensure that the public gets the quality service it deserves. In Abuja, Dennis Temple, NTA News.
An early morning protest by the Niger Delta Ethnic Nationalities Youth Leaders Forum has hindered movements around the NNPC Limited Towers in Abuja's city centre. Though the company's gate has since been cleared of the protesters, Lydia Sampson reports that the resolution leading to the protest suspension remains sketchy.
Like any other working day, NNPC Limited was set for business. However, a protest blocked all strategic entrances to the towers, except for the indicting banners. It would have been easy for any onlooker to mistake the gathering for a carnival due to its peaceful nature. I asked the president of the forum, Jonathan Lupubiri, if other avenues were explored before taking the protest action.
To carry on this peaceful message, we have met with the Secretary to the government of our federation. We have spoken to the President of the Senate our concerns. We have spoken to key leaders, including ministers from the Niger Delta. But of course, we believe that their hands are tied. And when a peaceful message is ignored forever, we have to act in a manner that brings us closer to our goals.
They committed to ensuring a peaceful conduct, which actually prevailed. Thereafter, selected leaders of the forum were invited into the towers for a closed-door discussion. Though the resolution of the outcome remains sketchy, the Niger Delta Ethnic Nationalities Youth Leaders Forum, who hitherto occupied NNPC Limited Gate in protest, have since dispersed. President Oro Youth Movement, Comrade Edith Ayo, told NTA News that after meeting with the leadership of NNPC Limited, who promised to look into their demands, they decided to go into consultation with their members to suspend the protest. The question is, for how long? Have we seen the end of this? In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The House of Representatives is to carry out a comprehensive investigation on the budget, incomes and expenditures of the University of Benin Teaching Hospital between 2023 and 2024. Chairman House Committee on Public Health Institutions, Patrick Umo, stated this during the committee's oversight visit to the hospital. Jude Abugul has details.
The visit to the hospital is part of the committee's oversight functions of ensuring that public health institutions in the country serve the interests of Nigerians. The chairman, House Committee on Public Health Institutions, a member representing Ikota Ekpene, Esien Udim Obot Akara Federal Constituency, Patrick Umo, pointed out discrepancies in the hospital's financial records pertaining to personnel, electricity, drug sales, revolving funds, and sundry. The committee was particular about the failure of the hospital to remit proceeds from sales of drugs to the tune of 4 billion naira.
We sit over the documents, we will evaluate them, and do all that we can where necessary. But we have highlighted that we will conduct an audit, energy audit, personnel audit, and the drug revolving fund audit on this hospital. We have our suspicions, and of course, we don't operate at the realm of suspicion until we have looked at all the books and conducted a proper evaluation or assessment on what we have or what has been presented to us.
The committee's report will be submitted to the National Assembly for further actions and deliberations. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
An advocacy is ongoing nationwide, especially in some focal states, to enhance the conservation, sustainable use and restoration of lowland forest landscapes, to protect globally significant biodiversity and strengthen sustainable livelihoods of local communities. Eugenia Ndubisi reports on the Edo State Inception Workshop for the FAO GEF 7 Biodiversity Project in Benin City.
The visit to the hospital is part of the committee's oversight functions of ensuring that public health institutions in the country serve the interests of Nigerians. House Committee on Public Health Institutions, a member representing Ikota Ekpene, Esia Udim about Akara Federal Constituency.
Well, apologies for the mix-up in that report. Let's see if we can get Eugenia Ndubisi's reports on the Edo State Inception Workshop on conservation of biodiversity. All right, it appears that report is not ready. For now, let's move on to NEMA, Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, Zubeida Umar, says the 2025 flood mitigation and management efforts will involve significant deployment of resources for effective management of the situation. This was at a simulation exercise in Mbiama community of Awada West local government area of Rivers State. Ilyasu Aliyakubu reports.
The simulation exercise drew participants from states bordering rivers who participated actively in the exercise to know how to contend with any form of emerging flood threats in their communities. The air ambulance displayed during the simulation exercise was central, with obvious assurance of quick medical attention in the event of worst-case scenarios in the aftermath of flooding. The exercise included rescue, evacuation, recovery, and camping, as well as distribution of food and non-food items from the local emergency management committees to states, and when the situation overwhelms them, then the national emergency committees are activated to salvage the situation.
I continue to thank them for what God used them and do me and my household. A crisis zone prone area flood-wise are attended to like this. I think we'll have problem in this nation.
It's a wonderful experience. I have not witnessed it like this before.
NEMA's boss, who was represented by the Director of Planning, Research and Forecasting, Dr. Onimude Abdullahi Bandele, commended participants for the commitment and promised to leave no stone unturned at ensuring seamless mitigation efforts to minimize casualty figures.
The essence of this simulation exercise is not only to test our plans and protocols, but also to expose any gap and strengthen our multi-agency collaboration.
Secretary to Rivers State Government, Professor Loki Ibibie, said the state government has concluded plans to reactivate the state and local government emergency management committees for effective coordination and management of disasters.
Disasters respect no boundaries, so our response must accordingly be collective, building for the future.
The NEMA team also paid a courtesy visit to the Rivers State Administrator, Vice Admiral Ebot Ete Ekwe Ebas in Government House, Port Harcourt. From Mbiama community in Ahoda West local government area of Rivers State, Ilyasu Aliyakubu, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. More reports after this break.
Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
In total submission to the will of God, we announce the passing unto glory of late Mrs. Juliana Amina Yusuf, Ni Ihiabe Otumi, aged 78 years. Burial arrangements begins Thursday, 28 August 2025. Wake keep, body leaves Grimad Hospital, Mortuary Aingba to Abiokolo, Omala Local Government, Kogi State. Requiem Mass during the wake keep, Friday, 29 August 2025. Funeral Mass at Our Lady Queen of Peace Catholic Church, Abiokolo, Omala Local Government, Kogi State by 10 a.m. Interment at her residence opposite INEC office, Abiokolo Ife, Omala Local Government, Kogi State. May her soul rest in peace. Amen.
Precious Lord, lead me home.
This is NTA News 24.
You're welcome back. The governing All Progressives Congress says the landslide victories recorded across 13 out of the 16 constituencies from 12 states in the latest by-elections demonstrate the purposeful leadership the Renewed Hope agenda is delivering in Nigeria. Addressing the media, the National Organizing Secretary of the party, Suleiman Argungu, said the results from opposition states are a clear confirmation of the growing supports of the party and the APC governments amongst Nigerians. Argungu explained that there was no external interference with the process of the party's primary, and the secondary elections were seamlessly delivered by INEC, except in Kano State, where NNPP was alleged to have manipulated the exercise. The National Organizing Secretary said the party lost in Anambra and Oyo states and reiterated its readiness to ensure peaceful conduct of the Ekiti governorship primary come October 27th, 2025. Meanwhile, political analysts have described the PDP's decision to zone its 2027 presidential ticket to the south as a timely and necessary move. This was a key point raised during NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, where guests delved into the aftermath of the PDP's 102nd National Executive Committee meeting. Olusheye Adeagbo reports.
The fallout of the recent National Executive Committee (NEC) meeting of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Abuja are sparking plenty of conversations. Many say the zoning decision as a move that could deepen political inclusivity and give fairer regional balance within the party. On the program, guests stressed that the step may be just what the PDP needs to avoid alienating any parts of the country, while also strengthening its relevance in the nation's political space going forward.
For PDP to remain a vibrant opposition, I think the issue of zoning has also placed the party on a good line of tracking whatever APC is doing.
So my advice going forward is once the party has a constitution and there are penalties, sanctions, reward systems that have been enshrined in the constitution, the party should uphold it against anybody, whoever it is, however powerful or less powerful the person is.
Timothy Osadolo, the PDP's deputy national youth leader, expressed optimism, pointing out that the party made a carefully thought-out choice.
Deep appreciation goes to the northern leadership of the political party in PDP. So for me, that is something that we Southerners or the Southerners should not take for granted. The onus upon the South, having been given this opportunity by the northern leadership of the party, is to present a credible candidate.
Meanwhile, public reactions pouring in through GMA's social media channel have been largely supportive of the zoning decision. Many considered it a smart strategy that could shape the party's future. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Kogi State, created 34 years ago, has made significant progress over the years in terms of socio-economic, education, health and general infrastructural developments. At 34, though, no special events was organized to mark the day. Solomon Ayedin reports and spoke with some analysts in Lokoja on the successes and challenges confronting the state.
Kogi State was created on the 27th of August 1991 by former military president General Ibrahim Babangida. Carved out of the old Kwara and Benue states, Kogi is popularly known as the Confluence State because of the country's two major rivers, Niger and Benue. Blessed with abundant human and natural resources, including arable land, solid mineral deposits, and tourist potentials, the state has been administered by 9 chief executives under 11 regimes of both the military and democratically elected administrations, in addition to an acting regime which resulted from electoral litigation in 2008. While governance is seen as a continuous process, experts believe that Kogi State, though may not have been where it is supposed to be in terms of development 34 years down the lane, a lot is said to have been achieved in different sectors of the state economy.
We have fragments of tribes, and yet we are working stronger and stronger.
Ganaja flyover bridge, it used to be a place that looks like a shrine. Today, go there and see. We have 3 universities owned by the state. Look at the Kogi State Polytechnic. It is now a citadel of learning that everybody is proud of.
We are not yet where we should be, but at least we're happy that the journey has taken off.
What we need is good leadership, good governance. Good governance will unite us.
Other opinion molders, however, query the position of the state economy, emphasizing that Kogi State has no business being poor, considering the abundant resources it is endowed with.
We can't be priding ourselves as having 34 solid minerals underneath our belly, and yet we are still suffering.
Government should begin to think towards also acquiring licenses to make sure that we also tap into these mineral resources.
As the state marks its 34th anniversary, stakeholders commend the vision of its founding fathers, tailored towards a peaceful coexistence, craving more support for the administration of Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo to move Kogi State to the next level of development in the interest of all. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Kogi State government has reiterated commitment to broadening access to healthcare for citizens by ensuring that more residents of the states are captured under the state health insurance scheme. Commissioner for Information and Communications Kingsley Femi Fanwo said in a statement in Lokoja that the policy is designed to reduce poverty by cutting down what families spend on medical care, while also giving them access to affordable and quality health services. According to him, health insurance is one of the most effective ways of lifting people out of medical poverty. Fanwo disclosed that beyond health insurance, the state government is also investing massively in medical education and infrastructure to train a new generation of healthcare professionals in the state's tertiary health institutions. He added that the governor, Ahmed Usman Ododo, is determined to consolidate on existing gains by investing in people, structures and systems that will make healthcare in Kogi State both sustainable and people-centered. And with that, we conclude the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adegunloye.
And then their ability to